Alright, this is a rosemary with some moss. Rosemary is really good for purification, and the moss is good for grounding, kind of remembering the earth. I don't know if you're able to see the stream of smoke, but it is light. It is single file. Scorching the earth just came to mind. I'm kind of thinking this is a collective message. I think I tend to get collective messages and think more of the collective, especially recently. All right, we'll have that going. And I kind of feel called to begin with this tarot deck. It's called the Coloring Tarot, and it's essentially a clean slate. It's an art project where, you know, they're essentially all blank, and you can paint, draw, color, make them your own deck. So, scorching the earth, clean slate. Baptism by fire just came to mind. Everything happens for a reason, and fire can be a very violent way to cleanse something, but ash can add so much nutrients and reinvigorate the soil in a way it wasn't before. Soil is alive just as much as plants are, just as much as water is. Soil is alive, and our soil now in America is so overdeveloped. I live in Texas, and it is so hard. Like, the soil itself is so hard, you can barely dig a hole to plant a plant because it's overdeveloped. It is not doing well. So there might be a message about we have to begin anew. As a collective, human collective, we have to begin anew. We have to build the earth we know we deserve. We know the earth that we know the earth deserves. Temperance and 5 of coins just came up. So temperance, the way they're transferring the water, almost like, you know, it could be the angels pouring it down, but it also could be pouring up. Something about balance, and things may not be what they seem. Maybe that's more so for the knowledge we've collected the past 500 years and the knowledge that we have erased the past 2,000 years. Things are not what they seem. And then this 5 of coins that we also split to, you know, it's 5 away from the 10 of Pentacles. And I understand it's an art project, but it just looks so bare. He's not even looking at the wall. He's not even seeing what he has. He's probably just thinking about what he doesn't. Things are not what they seem, but we cannot allow ourselves to forget the beauty that is around us, that does exist. You know, despite the violence, despite the knowledge that has been lost, despite the irreverence of the ways of our society. Let's start shuffling. I really like the two-sided sun. The two. Double face. Not a two-face, it's on the same side, but okay. 10 of Wands. It's a lot to carry. Nothing's dropped. Starting to get a pain in my head just above my left ear. I wish I knew about the spiritual symbolism of the left side. I don't know. Maybe you have to worry about who you listen to, or what you listen to. Is the information you're receiving factual, or does it just play onto different emotional wounds or, you know, different emotional facets? Is it just, are you using the information from the news, or is the news using you as a viewer and not really giving you factual information? So I'm going to look at the guidebook again. Just one. I haven't looked at this guidebook too much, and I do like that every guidebook is different, and there is always something to learn. So, Ten of Wands. A figure wanders home. A figure wanders home, his arms filled with wands representing his many labors. So full of work is he that he can't tell that home is nearby, and he just wants to give up. If this card has shown up for you, it is likely that you are feeling something similar. You are reaching the end of a project, or several, and just want to let it go, but don't give up. You are closer to completion than you feel. And I hope you can't hear it necessarily, but my stomach has been rumbling. So I don't know, something, if you are creating something, I guess that's a little above the sacral. It's more so solar plexus. So does how you labor and what you do, does that sit right with you? Here, I'll do one more from this deck. and then we'll get into an oracle, a deck of oracle cards. What even is completion? Like the length it takes for you to complete something. Doesn't completion just mean another beginning? When we cut the deck in half and it was the Temperance card, I think I may have mentioned it reminded me of the Judgment, but it's interesting. We see a similar angel on the Judgment card. Yeah, it's like this family is listening. Except instead of looking for external, neither of them are really looking at the woman is, but the male is not looking at the right. He's not looking at the source of the noise. But I assume they're both looking for the source of the noise, but the woman is spot on. Maybe, collectively, I think we are headed toward more of a matriarchal society. And there's a lot of wisdom in intuition that has been denied and not taken seriously. And to be honest, look where the world is, look how we are, because we don't listen to ourselves. Let me read for this as well, just because, as I said, I'm getting used to this deck. But look, 10, 20. Interesting. It's like double or nothing, just came to mind. Time Judgment. I said the Judgment, since it is 20, in the major arcana, it says, as we near the end of the major arcana, we have the final judgment. It is time to break out the skeletons in the closet, listen to both praise and criticism, weigh the pros and cons, and make a final decision on something. When this card appears in a reading, especially toward the end of one, it means that whatever conclusion is reached will be the final word on the subject. It's time to use your skills of discernment and make that ultimate call. So you have to look at your shadow in order to grow, because your shadow shows you the areas in which you need to grow. And but we have to allow both the masculine and feminine within ourselves to be comfortable looking at the shadow and not feeling smaller because of it, not feeling shameful, because shame paralyzes you, whereas guilt just lets you know where your boundaries are. But don't allow your shadows to make you feel small. Instead, realize that where you prune is where you grow. And with awareness comes choice. So once you are aware of something, you can choose to let it go, to grow beyond its limitations. Nevertheless, you learn more about yourself, regardless. Let me light this again. feels kind of silly to say, but rosemary saging wands, 4 inches, are available on my website, grooveparadox.org. $5 a piece. All right. Perspective is on the bottom of the deck. What's your perspective on yourself? How does your perspective alter your reality? Do you remember to be grateful? Do you look for reasons to feel blessed? Or do you subconsciously focus on the negative and stay within a downward spiral? As humans, it is up to us to transmute negative energy and to create and build things, nourish things. You know, like gardening is a great example. It's a very strong, important, powerful, basic as in true to the origin, like basic human, like what it means to be human. You know, it's kind of a gardening is a good example. Stewarding the earth. Wow, I didn't realize there was going to be 2 cards. Alchemy and Fortitude. So alchemy is right up there with the transmutation. You got fire in your hands. Looks like the, Iron Man. You can create anything. There's a whole sun, a whole universe in the palm of your hand. That's what it means to be you. That's what it means to be human. To create heaven and earth. Earth. Earth and heaven. Bring them together. Just by doing. Just by being. Just by existing. And fortitude goes into the emotional regulation, caring for oneself, and seeing the connection. He has a tiny little heart. Looks like a lock.